heresy is all I can say.
It was just hard to see him go like that.
Well, if he wasn't burning in hell already, he certainly should now.
I guess so. Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
Honestly, there's only one other thing that I can hope for. SuperBook! SuperBook is the story of two children, Chris and Joy, one boy, one girl, who discover one day that Chris's dad, who is a scientist, has a magic book in his attic. And that magic book is actually the Bible. You know, Chris and Joy and Chris's toy robot Gizmo get to travel back in time and visit a different story from the Bible.
I was thinking of Adventures in Odyssey while watching this because it's kind of similar. It has like the professor thing, and I had seen that.
Time travel,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But so you would watch this one growing up, but I hadn't. So what age do you think you watched this? Like, how young were you?
Probably around 6 to 7, if I had to guess. Yeah, I was very young, and I didn't watch it for very long. It aired on some random Christian channel that my parents found one day.
Was this your VeggieTales growing up?
No. Okay. VeggieTales was my VeggieTales. This was just something... You know how like, there are things that you aren't sure for the longest time growing up whether or not they were real. They just seem like a fever dream that you made up as a child.
Yeah.
This was one of those for me.
This was that? It would definitely blend in with all the other Bible shows because it's very similar, and it's it repeats so much of the same stuff that you see in all those Bible shows. The only addition being you have 3 characters that do absolutely nothing to influence the plot. So at the beginning, we're introduced to Christopher Pieper.
Christopher Pieper is
I don't know why his last name is Pieper.
And his father, Professor Pieper.
Professor Pieper.
Yes. And his dog,
Ruffles
Pieper.
Assumedly.
So Dad is mad.
And
he tells Chris to clean up this darn mess.
He's like, why don't you ever do anything for me?
Oh, so much dust.
Dad, it's okay. I put the fire out.
There was no fire, you silly boy. That was just dust.
But I thought you were in trouble. I just wanted to save you.
Oh, I'm in trouble, all right. But my biggest trouble is my little boy, Christopher. What do you think of that?
Chris is quite a money-hungry little scamp, because he says, oh, well, maybe if you paid me, it would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, he's always trying to get money, we actually learned.
I'm talking about the fact that you don't help me. But that's all going to change right now, because you're going to clean this attic right now.
But getting paid to do the job would make it more fun.
I don't know why I should pay you to be good. When I was your age, I was good for nothing.
So that's how we're introduced to the SuperBook, though, is that he has to clean the attic, and then he finds it.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am SuperBook.
SuperBook? Books aren't supposed to talk.
I can take you on great adventures if you believe.
We believe.
And the book comes off, I know it's God, but maybe it's not. The book comes off a little bit sinister at the beginning.
Yeah.
Here is a picture of Adam and Eve, the first man and woman on Earth. Would you like to travel back in time to meet them?
No, I'm scared.
There's nothing to fear. Trust me.
His best friend Joy, who I can only assume has a key to the house, because she just kind of comes in whenever she wants.
Yeah.
Either that or she just knows the door is unlocked and, again, just can kind of come in whenever she wants. The very first interaction they have, Joy's like, yo, let's go play. And Chris is like, digging out books and whatnot, and like a book falls on top of him, or like he falls on top of a book, and he goes, oh, haha, Joy, I'm falling for you. And then he turns to her and is like, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Hi, Chris. What you doing? Oh dear. Looks like I'm falling for you, Joy. That's just a little joke. But seriously, I'm glad you could come over.
They're set up as lovers to begin with.
Friends to lovers.
Friends
yeah.
to lovers.
That's the arc we're assumedly
yeah,
looking at.
like did that happen at the end of the story? I
don't think I ever I didn't religiously watch this show. And I certainly didn't catch every episode. I can only imagine, but I'm sure I'm sure the end of the show in the Revelations episode, they come back, after Revelations, they experience the story of Revelations.
Yeah.
They come back to the present day, but realize Narnia style that they've jumped forward in time, and now they're both adults and they're married. And that's kind of how I'm sure that's how they wrap up.
I think that's how they end. And then he
It's
falls on a
the
book.
only fitting.
Hi, Chris. What you doing?
It was really weird, and this is something I never picked up on as a child, I guess.
Yeah.
But, right before the kids are taken to the biblical story of the day, the SuperBook opens and shows them, the page of the Bible that has their story, and it has an accompanying picture. These pictures in the Bible feature the characters with darker skin tones.
Yeah, like Bible.
After the characters are sucked into the SuperBook, they're in this world now, and all of the biblically accurately depicted characters are now white. They're all white. And it's really weird.
Yeah.
Because it's very obviously different from what we just saw like 5 seconds ago.
So immediately when they get into the Garden of Eden, they find Adam and Eve, and they're just kind of peeping on them, actually.
Which is interesting considering, Chris Peeper.
I think that's how they got his name.
Maybe because he's literally peeping every story of the Bible as it happens.
That is actually kind of a good point. They do just kind of peep. That's all they do. It's not like it's Christopher, let me change the course of history. No, I'm Christopher Peeper. Of course, Adam and Eve, they're naked, but, it's like they have they just have all the animals just happen to cover them, and Eve's hair. At
some point, I don't remember when it was, but I turned to you because I realized, holy cow, Adam and Eve are technically younger right now than Chris and Joy are. They have no nipples either, I'm pretty sure.
Well, at least Eve doesn't have, we see her boob, but there's no nipple. Yeah, sometimes.
Well, you said you saw that Adam had nipples, but I completely missed that.
Oh, well, I was watching.
I'm glad that at least one of us was paying attention.
He had nipples in a few shots.
Thank you.
Sometimes it would go in and out. I was watching.
You know what? Let's move on to the children who, of course, seeing these, naked adults, their first reaction, you would think, would be, ew, gross, they're naked.
Yeah.
Avert your eyes, but no. That's not what they do.
No.
Oh, what a handsome face he has. She's beautiful.
Woman, prettiest woman I've ever seen.
And Gizmo, the robot, who has just been born, essentially.
Prettiest woman I've ever seen.
But it's even more disturbing if you think about it, because not only do they say how beautiful Adam and Eve are, but like we mentioned, they're technically older. So they're taking advantage of...
Wouldn't you like just a little taste?
They're taking advantage of younger beings, younger adult bodies. Satan shows up.
Strange, but I feel drawn to the forbidden tree.
Here comes Eve. Scrumptious.
But he shows up and he's a purple snake, which, I like that look. It's a different look for Satan. He's usually a green snake when I've seen Adam and Eve.
Well,
was he green for you?
I guess so. I don't know. I was kind of thinking like a red snake.
Really?
Because red is the color of the devil.
Yeah, I guess so. I for some reason I've just imagined like a normal kind of green, like some sort of Amazonian snake,
like a boa.
Yeah, something like that.
Like not
he's a big
tiny
snake.
Baby snake.
Yeah,
he's
nothing
a big boy
small.
Snake.
Chris, it looks like Adam's gonna eat the fruit that's forbidden. Stop, Adam, stop! Don't take that bite!
And so, with one last sad look back, Adam and Eve went into the world. Knowing good and evil, they would laugh but not all of their laughter, and cry, but not all of their tears. But now it's time, Joe.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You know, they get the fallen man, and then they go back, and then he learns the lesson that he's supposed to clean the attic without ceasing.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no excuse for disobedience.
Oh, I know all about disobedience. Please forgive me.
Well, wonders never cease. Does this mean you'll do whatever I ask without talking back?
That's right, Father.
And then the father, when he sees that, whoa, wait, you're not going to argue when I tell you to do something? He's like, okay, make dinner tonight. And then Chris is like, no, but it's not my turn. And then he realizes, wait, my lesson. I'll just do it anyway.
It's not my turn. I did it last night. It's your turn. Uh-oh. I'd be delighted to do it for you, Father.
Episode 1, do not disobey authority ever for any reason. Listen to them blindly, especially when they're taking advantage of you.
I'll get you for this. I'm always put to shame because of you.
So, episode 2 is the story of Cain and Abel.
That teacher was mean to give me a 0. I don't see that it's important to learn arithmetic at all.
My dad is going to be so mad at me if he finds out that I failed this math class. Math is so stupid. By the way he talks, he almost kind of builds up that the lesson is going to be, no, math is actually good.
Yeah.
But
it's
Cain
not.
and Abel don't care about math.
So you think you're so smart?
Dad's reaction is priceless because he just hits him with the
Disgusting.
disgusting. Like
Disgusting.
that grade you just got was disgusting. Like after and then Christopher has the gall to say that was mean.
Nuts. Wish I didn't have such a mean father.
He goes to the room and says
Yeah.
that was mean, and then we're supposed to actually
Well, before he goes to his room, he swears vengeance on his own dog for delivering the grade to his dad.
right, because the dog consciously
Yeah.
gives that information over to the dad.
Hey, wait! Oh, no.
Why, thank you. Disgusting.
That's a dirty trick, Ruffles. I'm getting even with you for this.
At the end, the dad does come
Yeah.
around and help him with the homework. I don't know what that has to do
It's
with
almost
murdering
like-
Abel, but like, yeah, he does help him with his homework at
I
the
feel
end
like
of the story.
I feel like maybe there should have been a B plot where we follow Dad and Ruffles as he comes to realize, I should be a better dad that doesn't abandon, my two sons Cain and Abel, to let them murder each other. I'm going to be a good dad and teach my son math.
Yeah.
There's some children's fathers who help do their homework.
If you're failing at school, you've no one to blame but yourself.
Cain and Abel are very accepting of two random little children and a robot showing up. Again,
Yeah.
it's just like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because if every episode everybody was like, what's going on? What's with you and the little robot?
Come look at this one, Eve. Have you ever seen such a strange-looking animal in our garden before?
But then basically Cain is mad because they're hungry and so they eat his fruit.
Yeah, clearly these children are not being fed at school.
I guess not.
Who's stealing my fruit?
I don't know anything about any fruit, mister.
Yo, you ate my fruit, so I'm going to just kidnap Joy. I'm just kidnap her.
Even though Chris was the one who ate the fruit.
You come with me, little girl.
Oh! Hold it!
Try and make me.
What can I do?
Kind of weird that you just stole this child from her family, from her friends. Like,
Yeah, that part would be... You'd think that would be what displeases God, but God kind
Yeah.
of forgets about it. He's more just mad about that he doesn't bring him
his best.
his best.
I know that Cain has not offered his best as you have.
Why should I? What does he want? I try to do my best, but he doesn't appreciate it. Everything I do is wrong.
Well, you can't do this to me. I started this company.
You know how much I sacrificed?
He kind of mishmashes, like Cain kind of switches up between liking omelets and eggs and not.
I tried to cook an omelet. What a mistake.
Hear them, Cain? That's not the way to get them to lay.
I can't wait all year for them to lay some eggs. I must have them by morning.
What's the big hurry if you don't care for omelets anyway?
Forget the cursed omelet.
Like, it's confusing which one he does. Like,
Well,
at some points he seems like he wants eggs, but then other times he doesn't. He's like, I hate eggs, and he throws them out. Like, what's going on with that?
Nice fresh eggs for a breakfast omelet.
I hate eggs.
Well, that part seemed less confusing to me because it's very obvious that he's masking his feelings in connection to his brother. Because, you know, whenever his brother enters the equation, he gets mad. So Cain and Abel tell the children that, oh, there's this national holiday coming up where we go to God, we present our best offerings as a way to worship him.
Well, it's weird because they call it Thanksgiving, which is odd because
that's
it's
not
like,
a thing.
Because I didn't want you to forget to take your gifts to the Lord tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving? It can't be already.
Yes.
And it's so weird, especially because, like, these are the only two people who celebrate this holiday, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's the only two people in this society, and they they celebrate Thanksgiving together.
Yep.
Well, now there's 5 people in their society, I guess, or 4 people in a robot. But
yeah, does he have a soul? I'm still jury's
don't know.
kind of out on that.
yeah, it's a little odd. We're not sure. He definitely went through the Crusades though and murdered a bunch of people.
It's Gizmo, my Crusader robot, but he's so big.
But an interesting part of with the end of the story of Cain and Abel with Gizmo, there's this whole weird little subplot that happens where they're going to Thanksgiving. They're going to Thanksgiving on the top of the rock where they're going to present their gifts to God. And then Christopher is sleeping, and then he forgets that Gizmo is a robot. Abel and Christopher are like, we got to go to the mountain. And then Chris is like, oh, I got to get Gizmo. Oh, wait, he's too tired. I guess I can't wake him up.
Gizmo, want to go to the mountain with Abel? Sorry, he's so sound asleep that I can't wake him up.
Let him rest.
We know from this episode and the first episode that he's a toy that powers down after a while when his windy bit, because he's a wind-up toy, when that wind-up, when he stops being unwound, he powers down.
Well, Gizmo wasn't asleep when you left him. He only needed winding up.
Why is Chris so dumb that he forgot that his wind-up toy had to be wound up?
Unless Chris didn't want Gizmo to be there.
Unless he is an agent of Satan.
Unless Chris
working to ensure that every bad thing in the Bible that happens.
Cain goes off with Abel. After Cain just beats up Chris. He just punches him in the face and leaves him there.
So you think you're so smart?
We completely miss the murder, and the two just kind of spot Cain in the distance running away from God.
Yeah, we just see him
the murder
running in the distance, and we just see him fight, and then we just get this big epic showdown.
Where's Abel?
Cain, where is your brother Abel?
I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
What have you done?
He's just running at God. They get sent back to normal times, and they're just sitting there for you can see them just processing, trying to process what they've just seen.
This horrible act.
You are banished from your home, and you shall wander the face of the earth from this day forward.
What's the ultimate lesson here?
If you, I think the lesson was don't. So, thoughts on SuperBook?
Wow. Thoughts on SuperBook. SuperBook is, the Bible. Thoughts on SuperBook. It's very charming. It's a very charming little program, but it's very clearly just meant for children to witness these stories for the first time, and not much else. Teach them some nice little life lessons.
I guess my review of SuperBook would be that, I don't like the way that the story, every single story, we have these passive characters. It's kind of, I like it, like gets old quick, like that they can't do anything and they just sit there. But I do like the style a lot, actually, of the animation. I think it looks, it looks nice. You have some sort of like normal problem Christopher has at the beginning of the show. He's up to some shenanigans, and then
always a goofball.
He goes into the book with Joy.
They can't seem to. It's not that they can't like change history or like try to intervene, but they just don't. Either they're so dumb that they don't realize what's gonna happen and try to stop it until it's too late, or just some convenient thing prevents them from doing anything until it's too late.
And then they go back, and then they go back to the normal problem. Pretty standard stuff, and then they go back to the normal problem and
learn a lesson.
They learn the lesson.
I learned my lesson.
SuperBook. No. SuperBook. No. SuperBook.
SuperBook. Yeah.
SuperBook.
So that is to say,
SuperBook. The bit's not over.
In all seriousness. No, did you say that again? No, go ahead. Clearly, you have the floor. Please, this is your show. Oh.
SuperBook.
Okay. What if there was another world out there? What if we ourselves found a SuperBook? What would that be like? Wouldn't that be wacky?
Just saying, though.
I was actually the one who said that. Dad, open up! It's time for me to get my allowance, Dad.
What's up, Chris?
It's time for me to get my allowance, but Dad won't open the door, and he won't...
What's going on? Have you tried using the doorknob?
No, but I can. Dad? Dad?
Maybe we should go to the SuperBook.
Greetings, children. It is I, the SuperBook. I am here to transport you to another time and space where you can have an epic and child-friendly adventure. So, did you have any particular place in mind, or should I just kind of do my thing, choose a book of the Bible at random? I don't know. You seem a little bent out of sorts, Chris. Hopefully, is he doing all right? He seems like he won't stop crying. Okay, well, all right. Yeah. So, let's see. Oh, here's a good book of the Bible. Whoa, go!
Whoa! Where are we?
I guess we're in the Bible, right?
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, we're in the Bible. That's every episode.
Hello, children I have never seen before in my life and who appear to be wearing clothing.
That's not important right now. What's happening?
Oh, well, I'm in the middle of writing a very important book. You kids will love it. It's going to give the entire genealogy of man from Adam to Jesus.
That's not important right now. What's happening, sir?
Yeah, is there any, like, exciting Bible action going on?
I mean, it's a book, but there's not really much rising or falling action. It's just kind of, a bunch of names listed one after another. It's super engaging, but I mean, there's not much in the way of
let's
drama
pull us out. We got it.
It's just kind of, explaining who everyone's dad is, because everybody's got a dad, right? Well, sucks for them. I mean, I've got like 35 more chapters to write. Oh man, they're gonna love to read this one day in the future, because I can only assume they come from the future, right?
Whew! We just barely made it out of there alive.
Hey, isn't your dad still dead?
Hey, kids, did you enjoy your adventure?
No. Man, it was kind of a mid-tier Bible story. Like,
Nothing? You learned nothing of value from Scripture?
If I'm being honest, I didn't glean anything of value from that whole book.
Yeah, I don't really know if I learned a lesson per se. Just kind of like a
honestly,
say that one more time.
Kind of garbage, you know. Yeah. This is a garbage bit of the Bible.
Book 'em, boys.
Freeze! You literally just committed heresy, and I'm the super police, which means you go to super hell.
Oh no!
Get it? Because I'm the SuperBook.